Hey everyone. Okay, so in this video, let's talk about VR, virtual reality in the parks. I got a great question from a subscriber about this subject. I'm going to read you the question and we're going to dig right in. So the question comes from Mr. George Falcione. And George is asking, how do you feel about VR, virtual reality attractions in the parks? Well, thank you, George, for the question. I do appreciate it. And I also do want to mention, too, to everyone out there, George is a host of this great podcast called the Grand Circle Tour Podcast. They do, Disney discussions all the time. I love their intro. It's a really cool intro. Check them out if you get a chance. They do some really great work. So link in the description below. But to his question, what do I think about virtual reality in the parks? Well, to be honest with you, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it in the parks. I don't want to see attractions in Disneyland or in California Adventure or in the Florida parks for that matter, based on virtual reality. I think the way that Disney is handling virtual reality right now, by putting them in Downtown Disney and putting them in Disney Springs, I think that's the best approach. I think that's the way they should be handling it. Okay? Maybe I'm old school. But I feel like virtual reality is it's a video game, and Disney parks are supposed to be more, you're really stepping into a world. When you go into like Galaxy's Edge or Frontierland or Adventureland or Cars Land, you're really there. You're really in this world. And there's something to be said about being physically there, that physicality. Virtual reality is, you're in a room. But it's all in the headset. It's all digital. It's all there in the headset. And I just don't think Disney should rely on something like that. I don't want to have a bunch of Disney rides where you're just in a room and the headset is your whole experience. I'm just really can't get on board with that. I'm sorry. But the way they're handling it with Downtown Disney and Disney Springs, those are the perfect venues for something like this because it's something unique. It's a fun experience. It's different, right? And it is to some degree themed, but yet it's not quite theme park, quality, right? It's not quite theme park tier quality. So it's perfect to put like in a Downtown Disney district or something like that. So I think it's great there. But in terms of it actually being like an attraction in a park, I would be against that. A lot of the parks like Six Flags, I know they are starting to do this. They're building these coasters and then they hand you, VR goggles. I don't know. It's kind of a cheap way out not to have to do like actual theming. And I don't want to see Disney go down that road. So yeah, keep them in Downtown Disney, keep them in Disney Springs, but don't put them in the parks. They don't belong there. It's basically a video game. So those are my thoughts on virtual reality in the parks. What are your feelings on this? I want to hear from you guys. Comment below. What do you think about, like virtual reality attractions? Would you support it? Are you like me? You don't want it? You keep them in the shopping districts. What are your thoughts on this? I love to hear from you guys. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do content on Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, all of it, all the time. And as always, have a wonderful day.